Alright everyone, new week, new Odyssey. By the way, this is gonna be my weirdest Odyssey recording yet. Fun little fact. Let me tell you why. First of all, late to the party, never me. They weren't here at the start of the game, but these towers can still pop balloons like no other. Oh, that's a cool theme. So what, we're getting Dartling gonna sub Beast Handler. Did we have to unlock Engi, or was Engi always here? No, Engi would have always been here. Otherwise, it would have just been, what, 3 support towers? That's pretty lame. But anyway, let's have a look at these maps first of all. They look pretty nice so far. Okay. Ooh, new map. I don't know how I feel about that one yet. Middle of the road, hard standard 1 to 50. Lotus Island, hard standard 1 to 55. Carved, hard standard 1 to 60. Sulphur Springs, hard standard 1 to 80. Ooh, and then Midnight Mansion, hard standard 1 to 80 as well. Midnight Mansion is a map that I am slowly getting used to now. A lot of the harder Odysseys have featured it as the sort of last or second last map, and I feel like I'm slowly getting used to the BS that it brings. Anyway, let's see what towers we have. Dartling, Engi, Beast Handler, and Mortar. Mortar wasn't in from the beginning? That's weird. Anyway, it looks like our crew is pretty much how I'd want it to be. Oh, and of course all the heroes that weren't in the game at the start. Yes. Hey, where's my Benjamin? Hey, Benjamin and Geraldo. Where are they? They're meant to be here. What the hell, man? Was Churchill not in the game at the very start? What? Huh. Anyway, let's, now that I think about it, let's, tweak things a little. Yeah, that looks much better to me. Let's be real with ourselves. If I'm gonna try and get a 5th tier Beast Handler, I'm gonna need a few. Alright, I'm happy with that. Sorry, Mortar, I'm just not a big fan of your work. But yeah, let's do this. And I will... No, wait, no, we need a fucking hero. Please give me a hero. I do love Corvus. Corvus is nice. However, he is also the latest, so I don't want to pick him. Let's go with Adora. Cool? Cool. Let's do it. I didn't even think about the individual tower weaknesses and strengths, but I guess we've got a pretty good mix at the moment. Anyway, let me tell you why this Odyssey is particularly weird for me. And the fun fact, you guys won't notice that it's particularly weird. Only I'm gonna notice that it's particularly weird. Unless, of course, I tell you, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Right. So the reason why this one's probably the weirdest Odyssey I've ever done, other than one that I think I did on my iPad, and I somehow managed to screen record that and get an Odyssey done like that, which I've never done since. It just happened to be around the time my PC died, so that was rather unfortunate, but still got it done, so, you know, still worked out in the end. But yeah, this Odyssey, like I said, you wouldn't have noticed. I have no audio. Yeah. Currently, I am listening to no sweet, serene balloon popping soundtracks. No sweet balloon popping sound effects. I'm literally listening to nothing, except my fan whirring in the background. Now, don't get me wrong, there is still very much sound for you guys. You'll hear it and you'll be like, what the fuck, you're a complete liar. I can hear the sound of the balloons getting popped and the beautiful music in the background. What's playing right now? I love Carnival Complextro. That's my favorite, you know? You'll be saying that and being like, oh my god, this YouTuber I watch is a fucking liar. Not the case. What's happened is my speakers have decided to die. It's not often that they just decide to do that, but few days ago, well, this was realistically started back a few weeks ago. In fact, I think if you've been watching all of these Odysseys so far, you probably would have been there for when it happened. But my speakers died during an Odyssey. Or during a stream. No, it wasn't Odyssey. My speakers died during an Odyssey. And essentially what happened was I couldn't really fix them. Now, I tried a great many things. You know, unplugging things, plugging things back in. I couldn't really try much more, turning them on and off again. You know, I even restarted my computer, but it was obviously just the speakers being faulty, which sucks. But yeah, so that was pretty unfortunate. But after a little bit of messing around, I eventually got them working again. And fun fact, this might jog your memory if you potentially forgot the Odyssey where that happened. In fact, maybe it'll work now. I'll try it. I don't think it'll be good, but we'll see. Holy shit, that fucking worked. Okay, anyway. Don't get me wrong, not a permanent fix. They immediately died seconds later. But I found this weird thing out, that if I pull my desk, or like, sort of, I don't want to say jerk, jolt it. If I jolt it, like, by dragging it towards me and shaking everything on there, by the way, you know, like, everything literally, like, shakes forward and then goes back a little bit. Sometimes that'll jolt my speaker into working. I don't know why it works. I'll smack the crap out of the speaker from, you know, the behind, where the, you know, the cables plug into. Does fucking nothing. I jiggle everything on my fucking table. All of a sudden it works. For like 3 seconds and then it dies again. So clearly it can work. Maybe I'll take it apart. That's true. It's been a long time since I've taken something apart. Maybe I'll do that. See if I can figure out what's going wrong just by eyeballing it. I probably can't, but it could be fun. Plus I'm gonna have to get new ones anyway. So why not, right? But yeah, for some reason, just jiggling the shit out of my desk occasionally sparks it back to life for like a couple of seconds and then it dies again. So it's not a permanent fix by any means. And I don't even remember what I did the last time this happened in order for the, okay, let's restart that. For the speakers to come back on, you know, for like a week or two. Yeah, don't really know how I managed that, but I did something that was different, and it fixed itself for a little bit. But now I'm back in the same situation. And I'm thinking about getting new speakers. Well, I say new. New but old. I'm gonna get the same model speakers, but obviously not these ones that are dying, which is why I'm intrigued to like take it apart, you know? I've always loved the idea of like taking tech apart, realizing what's wrong, being able to fix it, and then putting it back together. That's always just satisfied my brain so much. I've never done it, but I've loved the idea of it, you know? So hey, maybe now's my time to shine. Obviously I'm not going to do it right now, but yeah, it'll be interesting, that's for sure. Wonder how I take it apart. I haven't looked for any sort of screw holes or anything. They're probably in the bottom. Yeah, I found them. But yeah, that'll be a fun task for me. Figure out what makes my speakers tick. But yeah, so essentially, I have no audio. You guys have audio because the game is, you know, producing audio and my OBS software is recording game audio, so that's all well and good. You guys can hear the pops and the everything else, but I don't hear shit. Which is unfortunate for me, but not the end of the world recording-wise, funnily enough. Okay, we can put that back. But yeah, that's pretty much why this Odyssey is weird for me, because I'm literally sitting here, dead silence otherwise, and just talking, you know? Like, I've got no audio from the game itself, which is fine, you know, I'm happy to play it without audio. I'm not an audiophile. I don't have to have audio playing to enjoy the game or something, but it is a nice aspect, and it is missed nonetheless. But yeah, it's just weird not having audio. Wait, no, this is actually a major benefit of the plasma accelerator itself, so I can just put it there. The balloon trap will still grab everything, and this guy won't blow up all the balloons in the way, stealing pops. That's pretty handy, if I do say so myself. But yeah, it's just like, I don't know, man. Oh, purple poppin' power. Okay, we can supply that. That's no big deal. That's no big deal. Interesting that that is a weakness of ours. But, yeah, no big deal. Yeah, we'll do those. Doesn't matter. Pop the balloons, there they go. Balloons are pop. Let's do that, I think. Whoops. That. There we go. Once again, doesn't ruin the balloon trapping. Just enables us to pop camo purples when nobody else can. And that's what I'm really aiming. But yeah, like, don't get me wrong. I'm not like against having a lack of audio or anything, but god damn, it feels like there's an awkward silence at the lunchroom table, you know? You're just like, oh, who said what to who? Ugh. And they were okay with that? And then it's just like everybody's dead silent. And you're just like, this is fun. Don't want to be the first one to break an awkward silence. Yeah. Anyway, map 1 done. Map 2, low to silent. Beautiful map. 55. Hard standard, 1 to 55. 650 start, I believe. Something like that. Yeah. Alright. Let's do the same thing because it worked out the first time. That's a bit more of an awkward angle. Never mind, that's actually decent. I thought that was going to be a much more awkward angle than it actually was. Don't ask me what song that is. I don't know. I've either made it up or I've heard it subconsciously ages ago and it's only just being brought up now. Maybe it's like a variation on the Wii theme. Huh. Weird. Although to be fair, I do love the Wii main theme. That's a pretty good theme. Oh yeah, work today. Work today. Surprisingly nice. Weirdly nice. Like, don't get me wrong, the other departments still fucking mess with us so much by not doing their damn job correctly. But I met someone that was new from one of the departments that usually screw us over. And, well, I didn't really, like, meet him officially at first. He was just sort of, like, coming through to help us with, giving us stuff that we need. And so, there was a few times where I was just like, oh yeah, thanks for bringing this through, sort of thing. But I never really, like, said hi or was, like, introduced myself or got to know them. And so, at some point in time, they were asking me a question of being like, oh, where do I put this, sort of thing. I personally had no fucking idea where they wanted it, but I was just like, oh, you can take those back into sort of your department area, and then you can take these ones over to the other side of this department area. That's usually where they would have them put, type thing. And so it was kind enough, and he was like, oh yeah, okay, I'll do that. So I headed off and did some other stuff first, and then I saw him bringing one of the pallets around, and I was just like, oh, okay, may as well, I'm not doing much, I'll go show them where they usually put it, and, you know, point it out. So it's pretty straightforward. A lot of the newbies at the moment do need quite a bit of guidance. They don't fully know what they're doing yet, and by the sounds of it, the newbies in some of the other departments get like fucking zero guidance. It's really just like, oh hey, you're new? Here, take this and put that over there. Okay, cool. Now, go pick up these supplies on these shelves, you'll figure it out, and take them into that department. That seems like what they've just been told, and they're just like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'll figure out how to do that instead of someone teaching me. Cool. And then they go off and do it. Because by the sounds of it, this guy was like doing jobs that clearly he had no fucking idea, like, where this shit was meant to be going. And that was completely understandable. New to the job, new to the task as well, because this task usually only crops up like once a week. So yeah, had no fucking idea where to put this stuff, so I guided him, and then after that I was just like, I don't know if we've officially met, sort of thing. So, introduced myself. Found out his name. Not gonna say it. Keep it nice and private, just in case. I value the privacy of my co-workers. But yeah, honestly, really chill guy. We had a little bit of a chat after that. I think I potentially may have made him start thinking about swapping departments. Like, don't get me wrong, I didn't say anything that was untrue, and I didn't say, hey, by the way, our department's way fucking better, come join us. No, I didn't say that shit at all. I wanted to, because it's true, but I didn't. I held back. But, you know, he just happened to be curious about what my job was. And so I laid it out for him. I was just like, I stock up these racks. Well, today, this is what I was doing. I stock up these racks with the items that the people on the other side of them need in order to, you know, pick and pack all these different boxes and stuff. And then he was just like, oh wow, so that's what you do like all day? And I'm just like, yeah, pretty much. There's some cleanup stuff afterwards, but that's pretty much what we do. And he was like, wow, living the life. And I'm just like, oh, interesting. Seems like he seems to think that that's like top shelf stuff in terms of living the life at our job, which I don't think it's particularly thrilling, but I will admit that I wouldn't do any other job in the warehouse. Nah, screw that. A lot of the other jobs, at least in the production side of things, seem quite shit. So I wouldn't want to do any other jobs in there, but yeah, he seemed pretty impressed and being like, oh damn, that sounds like a pretty sweet gig type thing. And I'm just like, yeah, it's alright. And the reason I think that he might be thinking about switching departments is that well, I was talking about, you know, what I do personally at our workplace, and he seemed, you know, intrigued by it, to say the least. But then on top of that, he was just like, oh, how many hours do you get? Or like, what's the latest time you usually leave? And I'm just like, ooh, latest time? Maybe like 5, 6 o'clock? And he was like, oh damn, really? And he seemed like really like, oh wow, that's amazing, sort of thing. And so that's when I was like, oh no, he potentially wants more hours, and he's in the wrong department for more hours. So, you know, he seems to think the job that I do is pretty sweet. Seems to want more hours. Seems to now know that our department gets more hours. So, yeah, may or may not have put a little bit of a spark in his mind. So, you know, don't get me wrong. He seems like a really switched on guy. And he seems pretty intelligent. So I personally would love to have him in our department, but, you know, depends on him. See if he speaks up and wants to make a shift. But even then, it also depends on if there's an opening. If there's an opening, or if someone's willing to swap, or I don't know, maybe we can just accept one more on, but I don't know. I can definitely think of a handful of people that would be a good trade, so to speak. Not to say that they're bad at their job, but I feel like typically the newer people to the job or to the workforce that we have, the newer people tend to be a bit more like eager to get involved and to actually, you know, like not only do their job but want to do more, which, you know, isn't a mandatory thing, and you're certainly not going to get fired or you know, less shifts if you don't do, you know, just bare minimum sort of stuff. But as with most workplaces, if you show that you're capable of going above and beyond, and fairly often do, then they're gonna put you on more shifts, they're gonna give you more hours, they're potentially gonna think about giving you a raise or things like that. So yeah, I just feel like he'd be a bit more on the ball when it comes to things like that. Anyway, that has been Late to the Party Part 1, featuring these first 2 maps. These 3 will be featured in tomorrow's video. Once again, probably won't have audio on my end, but should be on yours. If there's no audio on your end, then I've fucked up massively, and I'm incredibly sorry. Then again, you wouldn't be able to hear my voice if there was no audio. At the very least, there is video. I can confirm that. Anyway, these 3 maps will be doing tomorrow as usual. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you all in the next one. Take care of yourselves. Have a great rest of your week.